Hello, welcome back to the Coaches Show. I'm Nick Merrick, joined alongside head coach Dan Wildfong. Later on in the show, we'll have TJ Black with us in the player spotlight. But for now, Coach, off weekend last weekend. It was a great Halloween for the guys. I mean, did you enjoy it with your family?
Yeah, it's great. Obviously, it's a struggle when you have time off a little bit to keep guys motivated, keep them focused. But it's just nice getting with the family and be able to do trick-or-treating with the kids. And our guys need a little bit of rest sometimes mentally, so hopefully we're up for the challenge this weekend.
Was it nice to have that one off weekend, though, to spend it with your family? Because you haven't had that in quite some time.
No, it's great. Anytime you can spend time with the family, it's a special time for us, especially coaches that are on the road a lot, and they do a lot of sacrificing for us, and it's nice to be able to spend time with them.
Well, you want to keep, obviously, the players engaged, like you just said, but I guess another potential distraction or some fun time was the Brahmas Golf Invitational. I mean, a big crowd came out in support of the Brahmas, and it seemed like the players had a blast. I know you were having fun driving around and saying hey to everybody. What was that event like for you?
No, it's great. We do it every year. I think it's a great thing for the players, too, to get to know some of the fans, and the fans to get to know some of the players, and some of our corporate sponsors that don't come to a lot of games, but they spend money here. And it's when they have a relationship with the players, it really sets home when they come watch a game. They say, hey, I know that guy. All our guys were caddies, unless a couple of them played. So it was a great atmosphere. It was a great thing for organization.
And now getting towards this weekend, I mean, the players now have a new tool and a new coaching weapon possibly for you too. I mean, obviously the biggest thing is for these players to continue their hockey career after they're done with you, when it's all said and done. I mean, you guys just had a partnership with the NAHL and Steva Hockey. Talk to me a little about that relationship.
Well, it's really nice. We send forms out at the beginning of the year to see how I can help coach the players, and almost 95% of the feedback I get is, I'm really a visual learner, coach. Can you please show me a lot of video? And the league decided to get on board with, and all the owners got on board with Steva of doing basically every shift the guys will be able to see after their games, every shift that they played. And I think it's so important for our players to have that ability to watch their shifts, and not only their coaches are telling them what they're doing right and wrong, but they can evaluate themselves a little bit more and see what they did. And a lot of these kids are smart players. They're playing at this level for a reason, and they're trying to advance and get to the D1 college. And the only way to do that is get better every day. And I think the mental preparation, the guys that do the homework off the ice and do their video stuff will really help them.
Well, speaking of D1 colleges and getting some commits, I mean, this weekend, two of the top teams in the South Division here in the NAHL squaring off, the Brahmas and the RoadRunners. What's at stake this weekend?
Well, I think it's going to be a good test for our team. We're worried more about us, what we can do. Obviously, Topeka's a great team, very well coached. They always have great teams in the past, and it just shows you where we're at a little bit. And our guys hopefully are ready for the challenge. We can only control what we can do, and we hope we obviously bring our A game.
How important is it for this team to start off, have such a quick start to the game after an off weekend and having that time to rest?
Well, that's the thing as a coach you always worry about, is when you have some downtime, am I pushing them hard enough, or am I giving them enough rest? Are they focused enough? And we're challenging them in different ways. We had some competition stuff this week, and it made it a little fun for them, but it was a hard compete that they were doing, minus the games. They don't have games in the weekend, so we try to challenge them in different ways, and we did some mental stuff with them. So hopefully that will get them ready. And listen, we know that our first 10 minutes of the game, 5 minutes of the game, are going to be very important.
And for the fans who have been here, maybe some who haven't yet come out to the Brahmas games, what's this year's group of guys like compared to last year's? Do you feel like you're comfortable with the way they're progressing, or are you kind of expecting a little more out of this team?
Well, we obviously have high expectations this year, and I think our guys, we struggled a little bit at the beginning, but we're really, I feel, making strides towards getting better every day. This team works extremely hard. on and off the ice. They're very committed. They really want to get to another level. Our last year's guys, obviously, we didn't have as much time to recruit, so I don't think we were as deep as we are this year. We're sitting out some guys that could play every night on other teams, and it's tough sitting these guys out because they are good players and they all want to play. But at the end of the day, we got to keep everyone engaged and everyone wanting and hungry to stay in the lineup.
Well, I guess that's a good problem to have when you're too deep, where you have to figure out which players I'm going to sit, which ones I'm going to play and dress. But I mean, kind of going back to the two powerhouses in the South squaring off, is this something where you look at the other team and scout them a little extra, or is it just we know their style, we've already seen the tapes of them, let's just focus on improving this aspect of our game?
Well, they have some really key players that we have to kind of keep an eye on and match up against. And I would be lying to you if we haven't studied them a little bit more than maybe other teams. They if you don't want to be underprepared with these guys, you want to be overprepared. And I think Jeff has done a great job helping us get ready for that, my assistant. And we've studied a lot of game film. Now it's up to the players. Now it's the fun part. Now getting on the ice and competing and see where we're at.
What do you expect out of your team this weekend?
Well, I expect us to come out with a high tempo, high energy, hopefully with this weekend off, being hungry. I just hope we don't come out a little rusty and wait and see what happens. I want to go and kind of dictate the flow of the game and push the pace a little bit.
Hungry, the term again. We'll see the Brahmas can take it off this weekend against the Topeka RoadRunners. We're going to take a break here on the Coach Show. Come back with our player spotlight after this.
Zaroma's only uses the freshest ingredients. Located inside the NITEC Sports Center, Zaroma is your one-stop shop for food, friends, and Lone Star Brahmas watching parties. Visit www.zaroma.net for menu, directions, and delivery information. All of your Brahmas action can be viewed live and on demand at fasthockey.com. Simply create an account, buy game credits, and watch your Lone Star Brahmas live.
Hello, welcome back to the Lone Star Brahmas Coaches Show. I'm Nick Merrick, joined alongside goaltender TJ Black. TJ, how you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing very well. The team had a big off weekend. Obviously, Halloween in town. We had a golf tournament, so lots to talk about before hockey. What was Halloween like for you guys? Did you guys enjoy yourself with off the ice?
Oh, yeah. Me, Liam, Sterzinger, and Vidmar went out trick-or-treating with Vidmar's brothers and sisters, and Viddy didn't really want to dress up right away, so me and Liam went out and got a couple costumes for us, and we dressed up as two Mexicans, and we got the jean jacket going, and so when we got to Vidmar's house, wanted to be just like us, so he got his jean jacket on and put it on, and we're like, dude, you look good right now. Doesn't work with us. So pulled up the jeans and went as a lumberjack.
I guess the difference is he actually had that ready in his closet where you guys had to go buy out.
Yeah, I don't know why he had that.
I guess the difference between Malmo, Sweden, and the United States, I guess, for focusing on Halloween. But what was it like that was his first Halloween then, correct?
Yeah, that was his first time trick-or-treating. He was a little nervous, a little scared going up for the first house. We had to lead the way for him. He had to go behind us and just grab the chocolate, didn't say anything. Next house made him lead and say trick-or-treat in Swedish. So I don't know how that went. I didn't hear it. He said it pretty quiet.
That's awesome. So the leading goal scorer of the Brahmas was afraid to trick or treat. That's always a great story to hear off the ice. But now, how about before that? I mean, we had the Brahmas Golf Invitational. You got to play on the team with your dad. What was it like just for the full event to have the team out and get away from the ice again another weekend after the sweep against the Odessa Jackalopes?
Oh, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot better having the sweep, knowing that we can relax. We got 4 points. It was fun going out with the whole team. We don't get to do that too much. And seeing my dad, I haven't seen him since August. It was a lot of fun to see him, play golf with him. And we had Hansen and Steen in our group, so I got to know them a little bit. He knew Steen from last year. I got to know Hansen, and we had a season ticket holder with us too, so it's nice seeing the fans out there supporting us. But it was fun seeing everyone mess around a little bit too.
I guess you're just like our front office team though, because our two teams really didn't show up to those tournaments, did we?
No, we weren't.
More for fun.
Yeah, we were there for just having fun. We weren't there to win.
Right. Yeah, we were the same way. But now, obviously, big weekend. Can't overlook it. Topeka RoadRunners in town. They're the top team in the South. Arguably, the Brahmas could be number 2 if it wasn't for the off weekend last weekend. How big of a weekend really is this for the team?
Oh, this is huge. And, big games. People like to say it's just another game, but I think it's a complete different game. It's not just a normal game. We have to go out there wanting 4 points, and we want them getting 0 points. We don't want to go overtime with them. We want to catch them in the standings. We want to get first place for playoffs, and they're a good team, so we're going to have to come out ready. We're really prepared for them, and hopefully we come out strong in the first period. We can't be sitting back. We have to play our Brahmas hockey, play physical against them.
Well, interesting to know too that off that quick start that you're expecting to have. I mean, you look at these two teams, and neither the Brahmas nor the RoadRunners have relinquished the lead after the second period. And there's out of the two teams after the first period, there's 16 wins in regulation, just 2 in overtime, 2 overtime losses. So how important is it to start with a quick 20 minutes of hockey?
Oh, it's huge. They can score a lot of goals, so even if we do get the first goal, we have to play our game, still have to keep going at them, because we know that they can come back right at us real quick.
But it's now, in terms of them scoring goals, you're obviously the guy last on defense for the Brahmas, and you're going to want to make sure that doesn't happen. Any different preparation for you this weekend, knowing how offensively talented Topeka is?
I just have to know that they can score from anywhere. Anybody on the team can score. It's a little different than other teams who are more physical and like to get in front of the net and try to screen me. They're a little more offensive. They like to go score on the rush, play really offensive. They have guys down low all the time.
Have you guys kind of prepared during practice all this week to just prepare from seeing shots from all angles, and even the defense gets involved in the offense a lot?
Yeah, I mean, we do a lot of preparation off the ice. We watch a lot of video. We have some scouting sheets. We watch video on every team, but maybe crack down a little bit more on Topeka, knowing how good they are, and we want to catch them in the standings. But I think if we play any team in the league, we play our game, we have a chance to beat them, and we have to play our game this weekend.
Well, TJ, you obviously had a strong October. Looking at the NAHL Players of the Month, you were an honorable mention for goaltending. You went 3-0 in that stretch, had a 93 save percentage in the month of October. Is it nice getting that confidence back from what some of the Brahmas fans really saw you succeed at the end of last year?
Yeah, I think this year is different from last year. We have a team that can help me a lot on the back end. I know last year was a little tough. But this year, I know that if I give up a bad rebound, I'll have guys there clearing it out. We have guys who can score, help me out if I give up a bad goal. And it's just different this year, knowing how my team can support me. Instead of last year, I had to maybe steal a few games. So this year is definitely a lot easier, and I think that with my stats for October, it goes along with how the team did.
Well, looking at it too, last year was a team where Coach Wildflong and Potter had to forcibly find a goaltender throughout the year. Eventually ended up finding you, and you could tell they're pleased. But now this year, it's just been you and Jake Kupski, and that's been the 1-2 tandem that he's been comfortable with. Is it nice being able to work with Jake and knowing that you guys can kind of pick each other up and push yourself to get better every game, every practice?
Oh yeah, for sure. Jake's a great goalie. He's a great teammate to have. We push each other in practice. We're best friends off the ice. And it's nice getting a break, not having to play both games every weekend.
It's nice to have a healthy competition too.
Oh yeah, it makes you always ready for practice, always battling, always wanting to be the guy. But it's a healthy competition. We're not hating each other. We don't get on each other. We're always good about it. And I think it's easy to have another goalie who can go out and get a win for the team when you can't do it, or if it's not your turn to do it. It's just always nice to have another guy back there who can get a win for the team.
When you and I were talking a little before the show as well, obviously you're a Blackhawks fan being from Chicago. Sharpie's out for a month. I mean, what's it been like kind of being able to keep up with the NHL scene? Has the players been able to watch much hockey outside of the Brahmas?
Yeah, me and I live with Bud Madey, and he's from Chicago too. We had NHL game center, so we get to watch all the Blackhawks games.
Quality buy.
Yeah, it's tough with Sharpie out. He's one of my favorite players on my fantasy team, but
it's not doing any favors for out a month there.
No, it's gonna be tough without him for the Hawks, but I know we're the best team in the NHL, so I know they can get through it.
Well, speaking of, your Chicago days, looking back before the Brahmas were in the picture, talking a little bit about your hockey career before coming to Texas. I mean, I understand too you were a reserve too for the U.S. Nations team, and this is you representing our country.
Yeah, I mean, growing up in Chicago, there's so many great players there. There's always one amazing team in the nation. I know I was on one of them with TI. We had a couple of guys drafted to the NHL. And growing up in Chicago was just a lot of fun, just being around the game of hockey, because it's all people talk about now with the Blackhawks. And being a reserve for USA wasn't what I wanted. I wanted to be on the team, but it was still great getting that far in the U.S. And but I think Chicago is now, the game is just so much different. Growing up, it was when I was real little, it was all football and basketball, but now it's just all Blackhawks. I think that's great for the game of hockey everywhere. I know it's growing big down here in Dallas, and it's just good to see for the game.
And the Stars Blackhawks, I guess the NHL picture may have a nice rivalry going in the Western Division. But I mean, really, look. Last question, before kind of coming to the Brahmas, do you feel like it was kind of a nice, comfort to try to find your game in the levels before juniors, and in order to, maybe I missed out, I wanted to represent my country, but now here you are, and you're leading the way for the Brahmas.
Yeah, I mean, I started the year in Philadelphia last year in the EHL, so I think that was good to get my game going there and come here, and my game's already like A+. I already know what I'm doing. I'm already on top of it, so it was easy to come in and really take the reins for the team. And growing up in Chicago, playing there, it was just all great competition with the Detroit teams, with Shattuck, and it was all skill in AAA. Now it's more of a college-style game, so it's a little different. But I think just the competition growing up in AAA in Chicago helped me here with the competition here.
Well, that'll do it for this week's edition of the Coach Show. I'm Nick Merrick. He's TJ Black. Thanks for tuning in. Games this weekend, Friday night, Saturday night, 7:30, right here. Nitex in the shoebox. We'll see you at the rink.